Hi, today is day. Hi, I'm Mitch Shoemaker, and today is day 87 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and celebrating myself. So, yay for day 87. Um, Today I chose to celebrate my shyness. Uh, some or all of you may know that I am very shy. Some of you may think that that is not true. I have my friend, my little park friend. I remember she likes to tease me. I think she likes to tell other people to try to point out how far I have come and how much I have grown, and it always embarrasses me. I will be honest, but she always says, "I remember when I first met you," and it was at church, of course. And I don't know if I was sitting on the same bench as her or if I was sitting behind her, but I kind of just leaned over and I'm like, "Hi," and kind of introduced myself. And she said that I did it in like this little mousy, squeaky voice, and I was like so shy and so quiet, and now I'm just like loud and obnoxious and all of these other things, and I'm like, okay. So, um, but the thing about myself, and I know this about myself, is I am really shy, usually around strangers, people I don't know. I have a really hard time just walking up and talking to people. When I am in a large group of people or some activity or something, I usually feel like the wallflower and I am hanging on the wall. Church dances, school dances, whatever it was, I either didn't go or I was like standing on the wall waiting for someone to come ask me, or I was hanging out with my friends, my little circle of friends, which literally like three or four people, was usually never more than that. um, and if they wanted to hang out with other people, they would take off and go hang out with their group. And sometimes I would try to follow, but then I just felt like I was completely out of place. I was like the third wheel. There's like 10 or 15 people, and I'm totally lost. And I'm like, I don't even think anybody realizes I'm here, and I will just quietly slip away, and no one will even notice that I'm gone. Like, I really feel like I'm invisible sometimes. I don't think I actually was, because people are like, "Hey, where did you go?" And I'm like, away, because it was too much for me. It's too intense. I can't deal with those sort of things. Um, Large groups of people. I've thrown parties for myself, and I've had like three or four people come, and I've invited like 20 people. People don't come. I don't know. I've never been like the popular person or among the popular kids. I think I've had friends that were popular, but I just never felt like I fit in the popular crowd. Um, I've never had like huge amounts of people that I hung out with. I've never been comfortable with that. I always have like one or two people that I talk to and I open up with, and I'm not as shy around them because I get to know them. And like my park friend used to be my roommate, and so she knows me really well. But we met that way. And then at some point she needed a place to stay and I had an extra room, and so she stayed with me for a while. And so we knew each other because of that. So I'm not shy around her at all anymore. Like, it's not a big deal because, we've lived together. So anyway, I don't have that with a lot of people though. So obviously I'm not shy around my kids. So, but I have that shyness in me. And for work, I am learning to, because I don't like the silence, to like speak up and say, "Hey, how's it going?" And I'm kind of learning to be okay with like, okay, I can talk to random strangers, especially if they're people I know I'm never going to see again. So it doesn't matter what I say. I'm not as worried about what they think because I'm not trying to make permanent bonds or permanent friendships. They're just customers at work that I'm just being friendly and doing the whole customer service thing. And when they're gone, and that's it. And then I have some interesting stories to tell. But or maybe they have interesting stories to tell, whichever way you want to look at it. But when it comes to meeting people that may or may not be permanent part of my life, or people that I have to see on a regular basis, like at church or other things like that, I know people ask me how long I've been going to the ward I'm in. It's probably like 4 or 5 years, probably 5 years. And I honestly don't know like half the people there. Like, I recognize faces, I don't remember names, and I am terrible at like keeping in touch with people. I really am, and I don't really go out of my way to get to know people. And not that I have anything against any of the people that are there, but I have this extreme shyness. And then of course they made me a Sunday school teacher, and I was like, I have to be in a group of adults and I have to like lead the discussion. I have to be the leader. I consider myself a follower, not a leader. I don't. I have been in the leader position, and I have done it, and I think I do okay. I survive one way or the other, and so does everybody else. But as soon as my role is done, I'm happy to hand it off to the next person, or I'm happy to be like, yes, it's over, and I'm good. I I do not. covet the leader role whatsoever. I do not like being front and center of attention. It just makes me very, very uncomfortable. I am the background person. I am the person in the shadows. I am the wallflower. I am extremely shy. I have always been extremely shy. My older sister would attest how annoying I am because I would always hang out with her and her friends, because then I was hanging out with my sister. I was following my sister around, and then I didn't have to make my own friends. I didn't have to figure out my own thing, because I was just, probably part of afraid of like messing things up, or part of it just because I'm like, I didn't have anybody else to hang out with. If my friends were busy, then I just hang out with my sister and her friends, or I'd hang out with my brother and his friends. Because it was family and I could hang out with family, and then I'd hang out with family and their friends. But oftentimes I would be bored. Well, not necessarily with my sister and her friends or my brother and his friends, but when I hung out with my cousins, especially as teenagers, I was kind of bored with some of their friends or things that they did. I'm like, this is kind of boring, but I didn't know them. So I didn't know how to interact with them. I didn't know how to respond to them. And I was too shy to just like start a conversation or to do something. If it was just me and my cousin, I probably would have, because I was comfortable with my cousin, but not with my cousin's friends. So we only saw each other like randomly in the summer, like once a year. So it's not like yeah, we see each other once a week, once a year in the summertime, and haven't seen each other for years now. So it's really not, I don't know her friends, so I'm not comfortable with that. But if we saw each other more frequently, we probably would have had the same friends, because yeah, or maybe I would have had my own friends. I don't know. I did have some of my own friends. I didn't always hang out with my brother or sister and their friends, but I didn't mind hanging out with someone else's friends. So I didn't have to be alone, because I don't like to be alone. But again, very shy, very hard for me to just walk up to complete strangers and say, hey, how are you? So that's a little difficult thing for me to open up. So doing these videos and opening up and talking to people for work as a customer service thing, it's very difficult in the beginning. It's gotten a little bit easier, but it's me coming outside of my comfort zone. It's me overcoming something. It's me recognizing that I am shy, and that it is hard for me to open up to people. And I have been hurt a lot of times by a lot of people. So I have trust issues, which does not help my shyness at all, because I don't want to open up. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to get hurt. So sometimes I'm really shy. I'm not one of those bubbly, openly friendly, walk up to everybody and say, hey, how are you doing? Welcome to church. Welcome to, walking down the neighborhood, waving. I'm like, my vision board friend does that. She waves to people when we go for walks. I'm like, that's so awesome. I love that she does that. And my brain doesn't even think about doing things like that. Like, I'm just like, okay, don't make eye contact. Don't make eye contact. Because then they'll like, don't make eye contact. That's where my brain is. Because I'm like, I don't want to interact with people. And so I'm learning that it's okay to interact, or to smile or say thank you. But I don't walk around and make eye contact with people a lot, or, occasionally I will, and I'll smile if somebody catches my eye and I'm looking out and I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? Smiley face, walk away. And not that I have any problem with the other person. I'm just really shy. So I just really don't know the other person. I just really don't feel comfortable starting up a conversation and getting to know people. It's really hard for me. It's one of those things I'm like, I would love to say, I'm like, oh yeah, I've overcome that. I don't think I've overcome that at all. And if people don't respond back to me, or they're not positive, even if it's just because they're having a bad day, they're busy, there was something else, whatever it is, I immediately shut down. I back off. I'm like, okay, sorry, I opened my mouth. Sorry, I said things. I'm just going to walk away. And it's not that they're necessarily rude or whatever. It's just kind of like, okay, didn't get the response I was looking for, whatever that may have been. Like, sometimes I think I have those like subconscious expectations that I'm unaware of. Like, you're going to meet someone and be instantaneously friends, except all the people I've instantaneously connected with are usually the ones that hurt me, that, use me or abuse me in some way, or take advantage of something, steal something, whatever it is. I had quite a few people do that in my life. And it's just kind of like, okay, so the ones that want to instantly be my friend and get to know everything about me are usually the ones that turn it against me. So the ones that it's taken me longer to get to know, to connect with, those are the ones that have become my best friends, that have become like lifelong friends, like my friend from college when I was like 18 years old, and I don't think we liked each other at all. The first year we roomed together, we were roommates, and then the second year, um, we started hanging out a lot more and we got along a lot better. And not that we connect a whole lot, but we still connect occasionally. We still randomly message each other or call each other or comment on each other's Facebook posts, and it's really nice to be like, okay, I know that she's still my friend and I can always like call her or go visit her if I need to. Not that I ever do. Maybe I should more. I'm not very good at keeping in touch with people either, but it's nice to know that she's, still there. And I have, a few friends from high school, maybe one or two that I randomly kept in touch with, and the rest of them I'm like, I have no idea, I really don't care, or I'm like friends with them on Facebook and I'm just kind of like, whatever. If I connect with them, I do. If I don't, I don't. It's not really, I don't consider them like my close friends. They're not someone that I would want to open up to and be like, hey, how are you, and let's reconnect, kind of a thing. I only have, like I said, a few of those, and I cherish my friendships because of that, because I don't have a lot of them. I cherish my friendships. I cherish the interactions that I have with people, especially the people that are, extremely kind and supportive to me. I cherish those relationships because I don't, like I said, I don't have a lot of them, and it's hard for me to feel close to people, to open up, to share things like that. And sometimes, I know sometimes with my trauma and all the stuff that I have, sometimes I do like the whole like vomit my whole situation onto people and looking for sympathy and whatever else, but then I never expect to see those people again. Like I never do. I never expect to see them again, or I don't see them again. So I am, when I start talking and get to know people or feel comfortable around people, I just tell them everything. I'm kind of like an open book. I'm not really shy when it comes to that. It's just shy with the initial like starting conversations of things. But I'm doing better at not telling everybody everything, 'cause it's none of their business. And again, I cherish the relationships that have worked out, the ones that kind of, go both ways, the ones that have been there, that have helped me through the rough times, that are still there. And even though I don't see or talk to people on a regular basis, I'm just grateful to know that they're there. And I'm grateful for that. And I love that. So it does, being shy does make me cherish the friendships that I do have. And I do appreciate when other people are willing to invite me or include me to activities or things to kind of help me, so that I don't feel like I'm navigating some large thing by myself. Especially, people when they're like, hey, come sit with me at church so I don't have to sit by myself. And I'm like, yay, I can sit with somebody else. I don't have to sit by myself. I'll go anyway, because I know the church is true and that's where I belong, and I like the blessings I get from going. But it's hard sometimes, just, being single and feeling alone, and being really shy. It's really hard for me to just walk up to people and say, hey, can I come sit by you? Hey, how are you? How you doing? Can I sit by you? Can I get to know you? Can I get to be your friend? Hey, are you new? I don't even know who's new, because I just don't pay attention. I'm not like a people watcher. I'm not one of those people that likes to watch other people. I don't like other people watching me. Very, very shy when it comes to things like that. I'm like, nope, I'm good. But I know people that like to be people watchers, and I'm like, I do not understand the whole people watching thing. It's just not my thing. So anyway, I was just thinking, sometimes I'm really shy. Sometimes I really hold back. I have a really hard time connecting with new people, but I don't seem at all shy to people that know me. The people that I hang out with all the time, they're like, oh, you're not shy, you're fine. I'm like, you have no idea. And I still struggle with the whole picking up the phone and calling people. I really have a hard time doing that, or knocking on somebody's door if I don't know if they're home or expecting me. I have a hard time with that. I have a hard time walking up to like strangers, or asking, even like at a restaurant, asking a waiter or waitress to get me something that I want or need, or speaking up for myself. I think it all kind of goes in with that being shy. Like it's really hard for me, and I'm doing better. As my park friend would attest to that, she likes to tell everybody how far I've come, and I'm like, yay, you're so totally embarrassing me, because I guess I don't see myself as having made a lot of progress in that area, and I still feel like I'm a very shy person, and maybe not as much as I used to be, but I am grateful that it's taught me to treasure relationships and treasure the people that are in my life and be grateful for them, because I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for them and weren't for their support. And it also has taught me to rely a lot on my Heavenly Father and on my Savior, and building that relationship, that spiritual relationship, knowing that they're there for me when I don't feel like anybody else is. And I am grateful to know that I am never alone because of that. And so it made me shy and have a hard time approaching people and saying things or doing things with other people. But every once in a while, I will get the courage to overcome that, usually through a lot of prayer, a lot of promptings, um, consistent, annoying ones at that. But I can do it, and I know that I can. And I have on several occasions. It's just not my favorite thing to do, to go outside of my comfort zone, which doing these videos would make you think it is my favorite thing to do, but it is not. There are several days and times that I don't wish to do these videos, which is probably why I'm 2 days behind on my videos right now. I'm not really sure how that happened. But anyway, I am grateful to be able to do these videos, to share what I'm learning, to be continuing to celebrate myself. And that is all that I have. So if you can relate or find these videos helpful or like them or think they're entertaining, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude. Find some fun ways to celebrate yourself and maybe do some writing.